Hello, family. Thank you for coming over to the house tonight. And just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SK beat. We're kicking. Just kicking. Just kicking. Okay, you don't come to another episode where we're going to be asking the question of, why you telling my business? Don't be telling my business. Why not? Because a can and a can, a can, and a wheel. Now we're off to... Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel, which I like to call it My House. Welcome back to my house. Welcome back to some more engagement. Welcome back to topics that we're going to discuss, okay? But thank you. Those two channels that just flashed across your screen, if you haven't already done so, do your girl a favor, because it doesn't make sense that y'all are not subscribed to both channels. Make it make sense, as well as Deb Chanel's 48's World. So go on over there and do your girl a favor. It costs you nothing but a little time, and really not that much time out your schedule. But we're going to get on into it like we like to do it. And our topic for discussion today is KarlosKing interviewing one of his castmates on his show, Marriage Huntsville, I guess Alabama or something like that. Really not sure. But KarlosKing should have been checking this brother and should have been giving him his walking papers. Because I really don't understand why, if your wife is going through something serious like chemotherapy and she's 100% not feeling at her best, why the hell would you go try to say, well, turn over, let me get my rocks knocked off, and then you can go back to suffering? Can anybody explain that to me? Now, that just don't make sense. Because even in the Bible, it states when a woman is on her period, she is unclean, and you have to stay away from her for sexual pleasures and things of that nature because she is unclean, unceremonially unclean. So why would you put your heavy self on top of her, and she probably seems like she want to throw up on you, but you have to sit there and say, I need it, I want it, I desire it, and she must give it to me. I mean, maybe y'all could have worked out some deal where you go get your knocks blocked off by some other woman. You know what I'm saying? Just as long as I know about just this particular woman, and she ain't getting nothing. Make sure you use a rubber and all this, giving him permission because you just don't feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? I know we are a meat suit, but God dog it, we deserve some respect. We ain't no wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and you move on to your other activities because you got your rocks knocked off. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes, people. People got to stop making up excuses, doing something they want to do. Now, if you want to go on and cheat on a woman, go on and cheat on a woman. Because the first thing you're going to say, well, you didn't give it to me, and I have to have it, like I have to have air to breathe, which is bogus. Totally bogus. But he feels entitled and he wants to have it. And he wants to have it from his wife. But let KarlosKing does this interview, and this brother just make you want to just throw up on him, period, several times of the day. Don't let him change. Just keep regurgitating on him. And finally, he should get a clue that what he's doing to his wife is none other but ape. Okay, put the R to it, and you got what I'm saying. Nothing needs to be said about the issue. He's just an unkind man, unresponsible human being, selfish to the core. But let's listen to this interview that KarlosKing did with him, and him explaining things.
Are you that much of a sexual person to where, despite what she's going through right now, you still feel like there's a happy medium in terms of her pleasuring you?
There's a difference between wants and needs, all right? And I'm a person who actually needs sex, not a person who wants sex. Now, at times I want it, but I actually need it. Life throws us curveballs like what we're going through right now. What Kimmy is doing is admirable as a spouse. To roll over and suffer through it, fakes it, all for me. Because at that moment, it's something that she completely didn't desire. Right? So I look at it as her standing by me while I'm standing by her. As difficult as it may seem, we should all feel that we would be better people and say, oh, no, I don't want or need sex for however long it takes for you to recover. But we then live in reality where that's not true.
I want to ask you this. Oh, when you say you need sex, not want it, you need it. Obviously, there's things we need. We need oxygen. We need water. There's certain things we need in order to be able to live a healthy life. Why do you need sex?
I need sex like Carlos needs mess.
Now that what did it for me. I'm like, what? You need sex like Carlos need mess. No, what makes Carlos money is mess. Okay, because we don't need that type of mess if you really want to put the stuff in perspective. No, you don't need. You have people going, hell, you have nuns out there that have never had sex. You have monks out there that never had sex. So you're going to tell me they don't know what they're doing, or they don't know what they're talking about, that you can't withheld, you can't sustain until your wife gets better? Brother, please. I am so tired of that narrative, and black women always have to suffer through it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we shouldn't have to suffer through shit. Okay, I'm giving you a pass, and that's pretty much it. I may be opening up my marriage to a lot of other headaches, but at this time, I am just temporarily occupied, and I don't need nobody on my body. I need my body and my prayers and the Lord to heal me from this situation, okay? But he would not be defiling me. He would not be taking advantage of me. I mean, that's just totally unhumanized. He's just, he almost just, well, I won't say almost, he did dehumanize himself and his wife by treating her that way, and for him wanting to have her do that. Even though he said she don't want it, she suffered through it, she don't care for it, but you, in a sense, made it no other way for her. And that's wrong. That's wrong. There's no love in y'all marriage. It seems like a dictatorship up in here. But it just is what it is. Okay, but we go to sportskeeda.com. She wrote up an article where Sarita, I can't pronounce the last name. I want to say Mahaji, but I might be wrong. So we're going to call you SM, just to keep it real. But she titles it "A Sad Case of a Man, Love and Marriage Huntsville Fans Slam Maurice for Demanding Intimacy While Kimmy Goes Through Chemotherapy." Although in marriage, Huntsville, MauriceScott recently appeared on the CarlosKing Reality with the Kings podcast, where the reality star opened up about his relationship with his wife, Kimmy, and the backlash he previously received about his treatment of her. During the podcast, Maurice opened up about his and Kimmy's intimate relationship and expressed his admiration for his wife, who prioritized his physical needs to the point of getting involved with him even when she doesn't want to. Fans took to social media to slam Maurice for demanding intimacy from Kimmy, despite the toll that breast cancer and chemo have taken on her, and stated that he is an ignorant, insensitive, and self-centered individual to be putting his wife in such a position. They termed him a sad case of a man, and I do agree with every last one of those statements. Then we have a not a blogger, but a person in the chat room, Bonafide Brownie, is saying, did he even watch the playback of the episode? Anyone with any sense of empathy would be sensitive in this situation. He's an arrogant, insensitive, self-centered individual. Kimmy deserves better. She should not be put in that position. No pun intended. A sad case of a man. Okay, we go back. It says certified, treacherous, manipulative, and evil. Love and Marriage Huntsville fan slam Maurice for putting his physical needs before Kimmy's. Okay, MauriceScott recently appeared on the CarlosKing, where he opened up about Kimmy's relationship. This is not the first time that the reality star needed to be intimate with his wife. has been called. Real star needs to be intimate with his wife has been called into question. And previously on the show, Dr. Francis encouraged him to look beyond the act and to embrace his wife as a person in order to form a deeper connection with her. On the only connection he wanted to connect with his penis going into her vagina. That's all. All. He didn't see it as anything else but a transaction. Dumbass. But anyway, however, it seems like the doctor orders fell on deaf ears, as in the podcast when Carlos asked him about the star interaction with Dr. Francis and noted that Kim is going through the chemotherapy and radiation. Her libido isn't the same. Maurice clarified that the first time they had a conversation with the doctor, it was before they found out that Kimmy had cancer. Later in the conversation, Carlos added that people believe that Scott does not understand his wife's diagnosis, and that's all he wants to do is make sure that he gets what he needs. The difference between wants and needs and a person who actually needs sex, Scott said. He continued that during that time, intimacy was something his wife didn't want. Fans took to social media to slam Maurice, calling him disgusting and saying that he makes them sick. What Kimmy is doing is admirable. Okay, we went through that stuff. To roll over and suffer through it. I was hoping it wouldn't be a suffering, She rolls over, suffers through it, fakes it all for me. And that moment is something that she completely didn't desire, he said. So he's a narcissist too, in my book as well, because if you're saying everything that she's feeling and you know it's for the negative, why put yourself through it? Why put your wife through it? That's all everybody's saying. And you in the human nut. But anyway, we had another comment by Bonafide Brownie. He said, roll over and pretend while she's dying is standing by him while he stand by her. Men are the problem. I don't know that's right, hon. I know that's right. And then you have other people trying to, we had the same person. This person was getting down in the vlogs. They said, wow, this man is a whole lawyer and he couldn't articulate his thoughts any better than this. Articulate his thoughts. Roll over and suffer through it. Maurice and Kimmy used to be my favorite couple. Kimmy deserves better. Well, I mean, if I watch the show, which I am not an avid watcher of the show, because it just had too many dynamics that I didn't really appreciate. But the fact that he feels he needs this in order to be able to function in life is just piss poor in my book. Just piss poor. And he definitely needs some counseling about this issue and how it affects his wife and what she's going through. Okay? I mean, if you strike the wrong position, you might end her life. So you're going to be messing around effing a corpse. I mean, that's how I look at it. I'm like, boy, get a life. Loose him, honey. Loose him. Unleash him from the marriage because that's just crazy as hell. But anyway, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. And thank you for coming over to the house where we share our opinions. And y'all get down in them comments. Y'all share your opinions. And we're all good in the neighborhood. But other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Good night.